right, everybody, I'm Howlin' Hound Dog. I'm gonna play some music for you. It's a Captain Beefheart song. Well, I was born in a desert, came up from New Orleans. Well, I came up on a tornado, sunlit up in the sky. Well, I went around all day with a moon sticking in my eye. Well, now, hey, are you younger? Wherever you are at. Well, I got me a brand new Cadillac, got me a Ferrari. Oh, yeah. Well, now, showing up now, baby. Showing up, yes, I do. Well, now, got time to teach you. Bet you will learn some too. Yeah, I got time to teach you, job. Bet you will learn some too. Oh, yeah. Well, now, showing up now, baby. Showing up, yes, I do. Oh, let's play that guitar one. Well, now, baby, that you will love me too. Oh, yeah. Well, now, hey, oh, now, baby, that you will love me too. Oh, yeah. Well, now, you're done now, baby. You're done, yes, I do. Well, now, hey, are you younger? Whatever you might do, oh, yeah. Well, now, hey, are you younger? Whatever you might do. Well, now, come on by, baby. I'll show you a thing or two. Well, now, you be with me, I'll be with you. And I'll leave with you. Well, showing up now, baby. Showing up, yes, I do. Oh, now, baby. Showing up, yes, I do. Oh, yeah, showing up, my Captain Beefheart.
Meanwhile,
The cosmos. Countless worlds upon worlds. Worlds without end. In these galaxies, every possible reality exists. And what is reality on any one world is mere fantasy on all others. Here, all is real and all is illusion. What is, what was, and what will be start here with the words, in the beginning there was...
You are listening to
Mutations.
Mid-Valley Citations. Mutations.
On Sheena's Jungle Room.
Mid-Valley.
They say this is where the reception is the coolest.
Then he probably lives right around here.
Part of the WFMU family of products.
Mutations.
Jukebox jams. Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed. for discerning ears.
And a mighty good hello to those out in Radio Land. And it's Mid-Valley Mutations here on Sheena's Jungle Room and WFMU. And yeah, this is a sort of a multi-purpose show tonight. Because certainly I'm doing a little bit of the Jukebox jam sort of thing where I pull out a bunch of moldy oldies of things that are from the collection, as they say. I'm repackaging them in a show for you tonight. But that's not going to be the extent of things. No, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's already open. Audience participation is happening. Join the party. bit.ly/MVM audience participation, all one word. If you go to that website, if you have a microphone built into your computer, phone, iPad, whatever it is you're using, you should be able to get into the show. And then we can have you on and you can make sounds, and you can talk to us, you can play music, you can do whatever. So that's one angle on what we're doing tonight. But the other angle is we're doing this jukebox thing. I have piles of all these things that I've been wanting to play on the show again, because what usually happens is that it gets played on the show once, and then I log it and move on. And especially in the case of some of these live performances and whatnot, it's worth it to kind of come back and hear them again. And so the gimmick for the recordings you will hear tonight, for most of this show, I should say, it will be stuff that I engineered for various different radio broadcasts. And so the bands, the performances, all the music, stuff that I recorded when a live band came in to play on the radio. And then, of course, why not keep a recording of it around for historic value? So that's what we got. A lot of live performances from all over the various different kinds of things that have come into the studio. Now, again, because I was the engineer for a number of years for one particular radio station where I did all the sound engineering and was often or actually I think for most of the time, the engineer for the What's This Called program on KPSU, which is currently now on Freeform Portland, another station up at the north end of the Mid-Valley. And that's where you can hear Ricardo do their thing week in, week out. It's kind of how that rolls. But back in the day, when these recordings were made, I would come in, do all the sound engineering, take some photos, hang out, chat with the bands, stuff like that. It kind of became an afternoon of radio that we would do, because I usually had my show that I would do after Ricardo's show. Sometimes I would have a band, so sometimes there'd be like 3 bands in an afternoon or more. So it just kind of became our Saturday routine for many years, and I wouldn't always know what bands are coming in. Sometimes I would. Sometimes we would be prepared for it. Other times we kind of make it up as we go. That was some of the joy and fun of doing live, off-the-cuff experimental radio in those days. Occasionally, you might even get called in to participate in the band that's playing. You never know. You never know. So yeah, it's going to be one of those shows tonight. I'm going to try to play a lot of different stuff for you, and have some fun with it. Mix in some things. You know how it goes. It's a Mid-Valley Mutations. It's kind of got a little bit of a flavor, as it were. Let's get into more of that flavor then. It's like I said, MVM here on Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU, and let's have some fun.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
We are the Vibrarians.
Whoa, deja vu.
We're from Olympia.
Engage.
Whoa, deja vu.
So, let's say we want to turn on this light bulb with a momentary push-button switch. We could wire the bulb right to the push-button, but of course that means it's only lit so long as the button is held in. And it also means the button has to handle all of that current. What I want is for the button to turn the light bulb on and for it to stay on after the button is released. Here's a simple circuit which will accomplish that by latching itself closed. 12 volts DC power is used here on the control side of the relay, but the load side of the relay can be whatever we want it to be. This relay is now the switch which turns the light bulb on. Will do so whenever the relay receives 12 volts DC. So, we've got a 12-volt supply in the ground for the relay, with the bulb wired on a completely separate 120-volt circuit through one of the normal open contacts of the relay. If I wire the 12-volt supply through the push button, now the relay will energize whenever the button is pressed. Closes the switch contacts inside the relay and turns on the light. This also has the benefit of making the button's electrical connections safe to touch. They're now just handling 12 volts. But the light still goes out as soon as you release the button. Release the button because the relay loses its 12-volt power source. However, if I branch off the 12-volt supply to another of the normally open switch contacts of the relay, then feed the other side of that back into the control side input, what now happens is that as soon as I push the button, the 12-volt control side becomes self-powered. The button is now completely out of the picture as it becomes bypassed by the relay itself. The relay is now stuck in the closed position or latched forever, at least until the power supply is cut. Taking a closer look, we now have a second power source coming from before the switch. This has 12 volts on it at all times. Again, it's going to the second set of switch contacts of the relay. Of the relay, and its output is being fed back to the control center. If there's no power from the button, well, nothing happens. But as soon as the button supplies power, that second wire snaps into action, pressing the button and keeping the relay energized. But if I cut that second wire feeding the relay and put a second button across it, this one with normally closed contacts, that means I can interrupt the 12-volt supply that's keeping the relay energized. In order to deactivate it. Now I press the on button, which energizes the relay. This, of course, turns on the light bulb, but also creates that new 12-volt supply for the relay to stay on indefinitely. But that new supply now travels through this second button. When I press it momentarily breaks the 12-volt supply to the relay, which de-energizes it, and the light goes out. However, as soon as the green button supplies 12 volts again, even for just a tiny fraction of a second, the relay provides a bypass for itself once more, and the light stays on. Clever, huh? There are all sorts of applications for a circuit like this. For example, a garage door opener. Push one button, the motor starts, and it doesn't stop until a limit switch at the end of the door's travel opens the circuit. You'll also want to design in some safety interlocks and other stuff, but hey, it would work.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
And it's Sheena's Jungle Room. WFMU. Today is August 4th, 2026. We got a lively digital salon, people hanging out. If you want to join us, of course, you can always go to WFMU.org/Sheena. Find the live listen link. It'll take you straight to where the playlist is, where we're making comments, stuff like that. It will also take you to where you can find the link for the audience participation, which is bit.ly/MVM audience participation, all one word. And you can cut and paste if you go to the Digital Salon playlist. You can find all the info and join us there. The call is open right now, in fact. We've had some lovely jams with people who kind of call in and whatnot. I've kind of been hoping that we get more of that going on the show. But sometimes it is a little bit tricky to get over the shyness. You know, you are joining a broadcast in real time, even so. It's not always easy or comfortable. I mean, for some it is, but not for everybody. But yeah, thanks for listening, Mr. Fab, Imaginos, Mr. X, Molly Daft, Laura Panic. The gang's all here is what we're getting at. But yeah, maybe we should get into the next part of the show, because if I sit here and just talk all night, then we can't play music, and that's not fair. Today's a holiday. I'll get into that a little bit more in hour 2. And I'd like to get to that holiday stuff, but I want to keep playing these little bits about how you can keep your jukebox working properly. And of course, I'd like to get to more varieties of music because, there's a lot of different stuff came through when I was engineering, and I'd get to meet a lot of different bands doing a lot of different kinds of music, and it really it broadened my palette in one way, but it also kind of made me more curious about things that I had never encountered before. I mean, I'm a naive country mouse who has moved to the big city to go to college. I'm working at this radio station, engineering weird music from bands that are touring through town, getting exposed to all sorts of stuff. Wild times, wild times. Well, let's get into my next set here. It's Mid-Valley Mutations on Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU. Playing the hits and trying to avoid the misses. And I didn't mean that as a joke about my partner, actually, because, I love hanging out with her. When we went and saw a movie yesterday, actually, The Odyssey, out in the real world, seeing a movie. Still wearing masks, but seeing a movie in a movie theater in real time. And yeah, let me tell you, that Odyssey, that is something else. I have lots of thoughts, but I kind of liked it. It's ambitious. It's weird. It's long. It's got a lot to say. The action scenes are crazy. Yeah, I liked it. Maybe I'll have more thoughts on that one at another time. But for right now, let's just get back into the music here. Mid-Valley Mutations, Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU. Tell us what you thought of the Odyssey in the... Oh, hey, hold on a second. How's it going out there in Radioland? Hello? Oh, I see. They are playing a little shy right now. Well, we'll leave that open if you want to add to the mix here in just a bit, by all means. But it's Mid-Valley Mutations here, Sheena's Jungle Room, and we're gonna get into this part now.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
Sit back, it's power, it's a power.
it would work. So then, how does this apply to the jukebox? Well, the Wurlamatic has a microswitch that serves as an interrupt to a latched relay. It's the red button in our previous example. Rides along the edge of the main gear. I said there are more than 7 cams, because this is also its own kind of cam. Once the program is started, it will continue to run on its own because a relay, specifically the main cam relay, is latched in. Latched through this, the transfer switch. Now, you'll notice that the switch doesn't actually get actuated. notice that the switch doesn't actually get actuated until the main cam has moved a little bit. Why is that? Well, because at first, either the side 1 or side 2 relay serves as the power source for the main cam relay. Electromechanics can get a little complicated. The same device can receive power from multiple places, but so long as you sequence things correctly, you can manage it. When the carousel has reached the correct selection, either the side 1 or side 2 relay will be activated. That starts the main cam program, just like pushing the green button. However, the signal from the first relay will disappear shortly after the record arm has moved from its resting position. More simply, a signal caused this motor to start turning, just like the green button turned on the relay. But to keep it turning, we need to generate a new signal because we're going to lose the first one, just like releasing the green button. And that's what this switch does. The transfer switch keeps the main cam relay energized, and thus the main cam motor running all the way through its rotation until the record is put back, at which point it is released. But wait, that's a problem. Doesn't it need to stop midway through to actually play the record? It does. There is another switch at play here, appropriately called the play switch. This is actually a sort of second red button in this scenario, but it's not going to totally kill the circuit. Instead, it will just sort of pause it. Ironic for a switch named play. Whenever the transfer switch is engaged, the main cam relay is too, so it wants to move the mechanism. But once the play switch is activated by this cam, it interrupts the flow of power from the transfer switch and de-energizes the main cam relay. The record can play. Incidentally, this switch does double duty as the same switch which mutes the amplifier's auxiliary input to give priority to whatever record is playing. Here is that the transfer switch is still trying to send power to the main cam relay, but it's being interrupted by the play switch. So what happens when the record is over? If this circuit was designed like our red and green button thingy, well, if the red button's being held in, we would need another green button to provide power and start it back up. Well, yes. yes, that's the trip switch located right here. It's activated by the tone arm once it's near to the run-out groove of the record.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
Ah, yes. That was a bit of an extended jam, featuring a lot of live recordings made in the sub-basement of the Smith building on the PSU campus, where KPSU, a radio station I worked at for many, many years, was located. And it's still there, although it's moving soon, actually. I just discovered from another DJ who's still at KPSU and has been since well before I was ever there. They do a regular weekly show there. It turns out that the sub-basement is closing. They're no longer going to have KPSU down there. They're moving it to a new location. It has been in the sub-basement for a long time. I mean, the KPSU itself started at some point in the 90s. It started in a closet, then moved down to the sub-basement very quickly. And starting in the 90s was there ever since. I guess the sub-basement location that it is currently occupying used to be a computer lab way back in the day at PSU. And so all of that is a long way of saying that since KPSU is moving, that part of the station's history is closing. I spent a lot of time in that sub-basement as a student, recording bands, doing radio, doing my homework, courting, you name it. That sub-basement has a lot of memories for me. And so my good friend DJ Victrola, who I've done a lot of radio with and has been a guest on the show and was the DJ at my wedding. We're going to sit down and do 2 hours from the sub-basement, September 30th. That's I believe that's the date. It's a Wednesday, and you'll be able to listen to it and stream it, but I'm also going to record it, probably going to play clips of it on this show at some point or another. But yeah, it'll be available for people who want to hear that. It'll be the last broadcast we do from the sub-basement. The end of the sub-basement. Sub-basement serenade, I guess, or something like that. Not quite sure what we're going to do, but yeah, so I don't know why I'm so focused on where it was located, but like you would go down to because you would hear that the radio station was in the basement, and so you kind of look around and you wouldn't find it, and then somebody would say, "Oh, are you looking for the radio station?" Sub-basement. You have to go down one more floor, and it was always intimidating because there was like janitorial service stuff down there and connecting tunnels that you could walk through that would go from building to building and stuff like that. And then the Republican newspaper, the left-wing newspaper, and the radio station. Oh man, it was wild. It was wild. So anyway, all of these recordings tonight were made down in the sub-basement when live bands would come down there and play. And I felt like it was appropriate to mention that that's what's going on. Sub-basement memories will be coming your way. Don't you worry. Special thanks to Molly Daft for sending in that clip tonight. That's very cool. More people should send in clips like that to use on the show.
Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling,
And I guess that's a long way of saying, why don't you give us a call? Audience participation, bit.ly/MVM audience participation, all one word. You can get into the call. You can make some sounds. You can talk. You can jam along. Whatever you want to do. It's your show. It's not actually. It's my show. But I'm giving you a portion of my show to sublet in some capacity. Is that how that works? I don't know. Anyway. I mentioned today is a holiday, and in fact, it is a very interesting holiday because there is a piece of short fiction associated with this holiday. And not just the day, August 4th, because I mean, certainly August 4th is just the day. But there's actually a piece of fiction that connects to August 4th, 2026 specifically. And if I hopefully I haven't given away too many clues. So yeah, I thought I would play that. I'm gonna put some backing music on and kind of let that play because I think if there's anywhere that playing this story is appropriate, it's on this show. Why don't I do a quick little back announce here before we get into that? I was kind of hoping somebody might give the audience participation a chance, but maybe that will be for later. But yeah, quick rundown of what we've been listening to, actually, since I haven't really said anything about it yet. Those who are hanging out in the digital salon can see it, but for those who are not, we started things off with Howlin' Hound Dog doing a cover of Captain Beefheart's Sure Enough, and Yes, I Do. Howlin' Hound Dog is one of those guys who sometimes has a band, sometimes solo, does a lot of shows where he plays originals and covers. He makes weird covers sound a little more kind of palatable if you were just kind of listening casually in a club somewhere. And he makes his own very, very, very weird songs sound like something you could come along to until you start paying attention. So love me some Howlin' Hound Dog. He's an odd fellow. I had a record label of some kind out of Olympia that he was releasing a lot of different albums and whatnot, going back all the way to the 90s. And of course, we had our theme music by Shadows in Blue, Obey Scooplaw with some of our backing music as well. The Vibrarians, who I don't know if they're still around, but always a treat when they would come by, because they came by a few times back in the day. Guive, a band that I've had on the show many times. I've played shows with them. I've watched them play many times. They are Portland mainstays. I think they're still in Oregon somewhere, but I don't know if they're still in Portland. I really miss Cam's radio show. Cam from Guive did a really incredibly weird collage style, but also with lots of songs in it. Just kind of like sometimes the song wouldn't finish because he'd cut off to something else. But man, Cam's show was great. I miss that guy. Good radio, good stuff. I mean, he's still around. I say because I haven't seen him in a couple years, or at least pre-pandemic. Actually, oh man, it's been a lot of years. Actually, I gotta call that guy. Metal after that, performing kind of a long jam. A lot of these bands played live on the What's This Called program, hosted by Ricardo Wang. I think only one of them tonight actually didn't play on that show. But yeah, Ricardo, big supporter of experimental music in all its varied forms. And so, we would team up together quite often and do some interesting radio. Callow, with one of their songs. If I remember correctly, that was one of the times when I was kind of covering for What's This Called, because I think Ricardo was not available that day. Joy Wants Eternity, which is what we're listening to right now behind me, a band I really, really like, and I was so excited to be able to engineer them. They do very pretty, loud guitar stuff. It's just beautiful and fun, and I like them. And I have a nice long set of recordings by them that that I enjoy. Soraya and Jonathan Howitt. Jonathan, longtime drummer and percussionist in the Portland area. Very cool dude. Soraya, a huge figure who does throat singing and other kind of ambient music, and has been trained by people in Tuva to do the traditional throat singing that they do. Soraya is a very incredible performer. Works a lot with David J. and seems to be kind of like moving in a lot of kind of goth and post-goth circles. Soraya's kicking the pants. I've been very fortunate to be able to record him a few times, and they're always beautiful. Last time I saw that gentleman, we were all having drinks at this bar in Portland, Creepies, and I only got to talk to him for a brief while, but man, that gentleman, very kind, very considerate, cool person. First time I ever saw him perform, actually, was with the Polyphonic Spree of all bands, because they were running around town in Portland one day. Soraya drives a cab. So when Soraya would drive the cab, picked up one of the members of the Polyphonic Spree. They started talking. He did some throat singing for them. Ended up on stage with the Polyphonic Spree that night. Soraya is that kind of guy. I love that dude. And then we closed that set with New Red Sun, a band that I think was short-lived, but all of the members have gone on to do many, many other things. And they're kicking the pants. They're pretty good. Well, I guess we're not going to get any phone calls, so maybe we should just move on to our piece of short fiction for tonight. This is Mid-Valley Mutations, Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU, and today is August 4th, 2026. Enjoy.
In the living room, the voice clock sang. Tick-tock, 7 o'clock. Time to get up. Time to get up. 7 o'clock. As if it were afraid that nobody would. The morning house lay empty. The clock ticked on, repeating and repeating its sounds into the emptiness. 7-9, breakfast time. 7-9. In the kitchen, the breakfast stove gave a hissing sigh, and ejected from its warm interior 8 pieces of perfectly brown toast, 8 eggs, sunny side up, 16 slices of bacon, 2 coffees, and 2 cool glasses of milk. Today is August 4th, 2026, said a second voice from the kitchen ceiling. In the city of Allendale, California. It repeated the date 3 times for memory's sake. Today is Mr. Featherstone's birthday. Today is the anniversary of Toleda's marriage. Insurance is payable, as are the water, gas, and light bills. Somewhere in the walls, relays clicked. Memory tapes glided under electric eyes. 8-1, tick-tock. 8-1 o'clock, off to school, off to work. Run, run, 8-1. But no doors slammed. No carpets took the soft tread of rubber heels. It was raining outside. The weather box on the front door sang quietly. Rain, rain, go away. Rubber's raincoats for today. And the rain tapped on the empty house, echoing. Outside, the garage chimed and lifted its door to reveal the waiting car. After a long wait, the door swung down again. At 8:30, the eggs were shriveled and the toast was like stone. An aluminum wedge scraped them into the sink where hot water whirled them down a metal throat which digested and flushed them away to the distant sea. The dirty dishes were dropped into a hot washer and emerged twinkling dry. 9:15 sang the clock. Time to clean. Out of warrens in the wall, tiny robot mice darted. The rooms were acrawl with the small cleaning animals, all rubber and metal. They thudded against chairs, whirling their mustached runners, kneading the rug naps, sucking gently at hidden dust. Then, like mysterious invaders, they popped into their burrows. Their pink electric eyes faded. The house was clean. 10 o'clock. The sun came out from behind the rain. the house stood alone in a city of rubble and ashes. This was the one house left standing. At night, the ruined city gave off a radioactive glow which could be seen for miles. 10:15. The garden sprinklers whirled up in golden founts, filling the soft morning air with scatterings of brightness. The water pelted window panes, running down the charred west side where the house had been burned evenly, free of its white paint. The entire west face of the house was black, save for 5 places. Here, the silhouette in paint of a man mowing a lawn. Here, as in a photograph, a woman bent to pick flowers. Still farther over, their images burned on wood in one titanic instant, a small boy, hands flung into the air. Higher up, the image of a thrown ball, and opposite him, a girl, hands raised to catch a ball which never came down. The 5 spots of paint, the man, the woman, the children, the ball, remained. The rest was a thin charcoal layer. The gentle sprinkler rain filled the garden with falling light. Until this day, how well the house had kept its peace. How carefully it had inquired, who goes there? What's the password? And getting no answer from lonely foxes and whining cats, it had shut up its windows and drawn shades in an old maidenly preoccupation with self-protection which bordered on a mechanical paranoia. It quivered at each sound, the house did. If a sparrow brushed a window, the shade snapped up. The bird, startled, flew off. No, not even a bird must touch the house. The house was an altar with 10,000 attendants, big, small, servicing, attending in choirs. But the gods had gone away, and the ritual of the religion continued senselessly, uselessly. 12 noon, dog whined, shivering on the front porch. The front door recognized the dog voice and opened. The dog, once huge and fleshy, but now gone to bone and covered with sores, moved in and through the house, tracking mud. Behind it whirred angry mice, angry at having to pick up mud, angry at inconvenience. For not a leaf fragment blew under the door, but what the wall panels flipped open and the copper scrap rats flashed swiftly out. The offending dust, hair, or paper seized in miniature steel jaws was raced back to the burrows. There, down tubes which fed into the cellar, it was dropped into the sighing vent of an incinerator which sat like evil Baal in a dark corner. The dog ran upstairs, hysterically yelping to each door, at last realizing, as the house realized, that only silence was here. It sniffed the air and scratched the kitchen door. Behind the door, the stove was making pancakes, which filled the house with a rich baked odor and the scent of maple syrup. The dog frothed at the mouth, lying at the door, sniffing, its eyes turned to fire. It ran wildly in circles, biting at its tail, spun in a frenzy, and died. It lay in the parlor for an hour. 2 o'clock, sang a voice. Delicately sensing decay at last, the regiments of mice hummed out as softly as blown gray leaves in an electrical wind. 2:15. The dog was gone. In the cellar, the incinerator glowed suddenly, and a whirl of sparks leaped up the chimney. 2:35. Bridge tables sprouted from patio walls. Playing cards fluttered onto pads in a shower of pips. Martinis manifested on an oaken bench with egg salad sandwiches. Music played. But the tables were silent and the cards untouched. At 4 o'clock, the tables folded like great butterflies back through the paneled walls. 4:30. The nursery walls glowed. Animals took shape. Yellow giraffes, blue lions, pink antelopes, lilac panthers cavorting in crystal substance. The walls were glass. They looked out upon color and fantasy. Hidden films clocked through well-oiled sprockets, and the walls lived. The nursery floor was woven to resemble a crisp cereal meadow. Over this ran aluminum roaches and iron crickets, and in the hot still air, butterflies of delicate red tissue wavered among the sharp aroma of animal spores. There was a sound like a great matted yellow hive of bees within a dark bellows, the lazy bumble of a purring lion, and there was the patter of okapi feet and the murmur of a fresh jungle rain, like other hoofs, falling upon the summer-starched grass. Now the walls dissolved into distances of parched weed, mile on mile, and warm, endless sky. The animals drew away into thorn breaks and water holes. It was the children's hour. 5 o'clock. The bath filled with clear, hot water. 6, 7, 8 o'clock. The dinner dishes manipulated like magic tricks, and in the study, a click. In the middle stand, opposite the hearth where a fire now blazed up warmly, a cigar popped out, half an inch of soft gray ash on it, smoking, waiting. 9 o'clock. The beds warmed their hidden circuits, for nights were cool here. 9:05. A voice spoke from the study ceiling. Mrs. McClellan, which poem would you like this evening? The house was silent. The voice said at last, since you express no preference, I shall select a poem at random. Quiet music rose to back the voice. Sarah Teasdale, as I recall, your favorite. There will come soft rains and the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their winds on a low fence wire, and not one will know of the war, not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly, and spring herself when she woke at dawn would scarcely know that we were gone. The fire burned on the stone hearth, and the cigar fell away into a mound of quiet ash on its tray. The empty chairs faced each other between the silent walls, and the music played. At 10 o'clock, the house began to die. The wind blew. A falling tree bough crashed through the kitchen window. Cleaning solvent, bottled, shattered over the stove. The room was ablaze in an instant. Fire! Screamed a voice. The house lights flashed. Water pumps shot water from the ceilings, but the solvent spread on the linoleum, licking, eating, under the kitchen door, while the voices took it up in chorus. Fire! 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 The house tried to save itself. Doors sprang tightly shut, but the windows were broken by the heat, and the wind blew and sucked upon the fire. The house gave ground as the fire in 10 billion angry sparks moved with flaming ease from room to room and then up the stairs, while scurrying water rats squeaked from the walls, pistoled their water and ran for more, and the wall sprays let down showers of mechanical rain. But too late. Somewhere, sighing, a pump shrugged to a stop. The quenching rain ceased. The reserve water supply, which had filled baths and washed dishes for many quiet days, was gone. The fire crackled up the stairs. It fed upon Picassos and Matisses in the upper halls, like delicacies, baking off the oily flesh, tenderly crisping the canvases into black shavings. Now the fire lay in beds, stood in windows, changed the colors of drapes, and then reinforcements. From attic trap doors, blind robot faces peered down with faucet mouths gushing green chemical. The fire backed off, even as an elephant must at the sight of a dead snake. Now there were 20 snakes, whipping over the floor, killing the fire with a clear, cold venom of green froth. But the fire was clever. It had sent flame outside the house, up through the attic to the pumps there. An explosion. The attic brain, which directed the pumps, was shattered into bronze shrapnel on the beams. The fire rushed back into every closet and felt of the clothes hung there. The house shuddered. Oak, bone on bone, its bared skeleton cringing from the heat, its wire, its nerves revealed, as if a surgeon had torn the skin off to let the red veins and capillaries quiver in the scalded air. Help! Help! Fire! Run! Run! Heat snapped mirrors like the first brittle winter ice, and the voices wailed, Fire! Fire! Run! Run! Like a tragic nursery rhyme. A dozen voices, high, low, like children dying in a forest, alone, alone. And the voices fading as the wires popped their sheathings like hot chestnuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 voices died. In the nursery, the jungle burned. Blue lions roared. Purple giraffes bounded off. The panthers ran in circles, changing color, and 10 million animals running before the fire vanished off toward a distant steaming river. 10 more voices died. In the last instant, under the fire avalanche, other choruses, oblivious, could be heard announcing the time, playing music, cutting the lawn by remote control mower, or setting an umbrella frantically out and in the slamming and opening front door. 1,000 things happening like a clock shop when each clock strikes the hour insanely before or after the other. A scene of maniac confusion, yet unity. Singing, screaming, a few last cleaning mice darting bravely out to carry the horrid ashes away, and one voice, with sublime disregard for the situation, reading poetry aloud in the fiery study until all the film spools burned, until all the wires withered and the circuits cracked. The fire burst the house and let it slam flat down, puffing out skirts of spark and smoke. In the kitchen, an instant before the rain of fire and timber, the stove could be seen making breakfasts at a psychopathic rate. 10 dozen eggs, 6 loaves of toast, 20 dozen bacon strips, which, eaten by fire, started the stove working again, hysterically hissing. The crash. The attic smashing into kitchen and parlor. The parlor into cellar, cellar into sub-cellar. Deep freeze, armchair, film tape, circuits, beds, and all like skeletons thrown in a cluttered mound deep under. Smoke. And silence. A great quantity of smoke. Dawn showed faintly in the east. Among the ruins, one wall stood alone. Within the wall, a last voice said, over and over, again and again, even as the sun rose to shine upon the heaped rubble and steam, "Today is August 5th, 2026. Today is August 5th, 2026. Today is August 5th, 2026. Today is August 5th, 2026.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
And that is the story There Will Come Soft Rains. As read by Leonard Nimoy, written by Ray Bradbury. I think one of the questions in the Digital Salon, were those the exact words that Bradbury wrote? Pretty close. I think for the most part, in those days they were trying to do them as close to the original text as possible, but for convenience sake, they were not sticklers about every word, and so they might be slightly condensed from the original text. But for the most part, Cademan, the label that released that record, usually tries to stay pretty close to the source. Now, background on that story, originally when it was published in magazine form, and then when it was collected in the first version of the Martian Chronicles, Bradbury had the date as August 4th, 2026, and that was the date of the happening of this story for years and years and years, until Bradbury revised the Martian Chronicles in 1997. And in 1997, he added, for some reason or another, 31 years to every date that was mentioned in the book. I think his idea was like, well, I need to make this a little more contemporary or something like that. And rethinking some of the stories, he's like, well, let me push those dates a little further out so that I'm not wrong. But the long and the short of it is that I'm fairly certain that the original version is the more compelling one to me. Not only because today is that day, but also because there was something about it where when I first read it, it was the version that had the 2026 date in it. I mean, I read it in a paperback from way back when. So, but yeah, nonetheless, I can't take credit for actually playing that tonight myself. I mean, I did have the idea of mixing it and whatnot and playing the Nimoy version and all that. But I have to say, Blank Brian, who has been a guest on Dime Store Radio Theater and has been a guest on other programs that I've done before, and is friends with Heather Z, reminded Heather Z about the date connection. And then Heather reminded me, just saying like, oh, hey, Blank Brian mentioned this, blah, blah. And it had slipped my mind. And in fact, I had looked this up at one point because I was like looking forward on my dates for my radio show, trying to think ahead. And I was researching holidays connected with dates that my shows were falling on in the future. And I think I did notice this at one point, and I failed to write it down. I failed to take any action on it. And I didn't do anything except go like, oh, that's interesting. That's coming up. And then forgot completely about it. And so I got to thank Heather Z and Blank Brian for coming in at the last second and reminding me of the amazing coincidence that was happening today that I could fulfill. Now, I love that story, and Mr. X and I have actually performed live in our pre-Human Dinosaur days, because we have a group together where we perform together as Human Dinosaur is the name of the band. But before that, I had Mr. X join me as a guest performer for a mini Mutations set, and I played samples from this Leonard Nimoy recording along with other stuff for a piece that we called The House of the Future. And I'm quite fond of that performance and recording. That's from way back when. But a lot of fun. I almost played that one tonight instead of the Nimoy one, and then I was like, I can play that one anytime. The Nimoy one seems more exciting. And then I have another piece that I have done that is called The House of the Future. The House That Man Built. And that is also has different samples from that same Nimoy piece, and some other samples to go with it. I've cannibalized that story many times, and then individual little tiny samples from it I've reused over and over again on other pieces, countlessly, for radio and for live shows. It's just a story that I think really resonates with me in some way. And I gotta say, we here in the Mid-Valley are kind of struggling today. We got a lot of smoke coming in from some local fires that are really, really, really just making it kind of hellish outside. It's in the 90s in terms of temperature, so it's really hot outside. Hot, smoky, hard to breathe, kind of stifling. Seems like the end of the world. No one wants to go outside, so if you had to go and run an errand today, it was kind of eerily, weirdly empty everywhere. Man, it felt like the end of the world. And so I was like, man, did we get nuked and I missed it? Oh, no. Well, so it goes. That would be my ability to relive the Night of the Comet, my secretly one of my favorite movies, so that I can. Oh gosh, man, that girl. Well, anyway, let's not have our Night of the Comet fan fiction broadcast tonight. Let's instead move on and thank everyone who enjoyed, and thank everybody who helped remind me to play this story tonight. I think it was a good way to get into that kind of thing for the show this evening. Let's see where I want to go next. I mean, the phone lines are open, in fact. So maybe it's time to play this.
Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling on the telephone and ring me up tonight. Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling on the telephone, you got my number right. Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling on the telephone and send a kiss or two. If you don't ring-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, then I ring a ting-a-ling for you.
So yeah, if you want to join, you can. Soundtrack for our There Will Be Soft Rains provided by Four Dimensional Nightmare, a band that named themselves after a short story by a sci-fi author. Seemed appropriate that I should toss that in. Well, let's see. Where do we want to go next? How about Easter Island? It's Mid-Valley Mutations here on Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU. And I'm going to see how much of this recording I can get in before I need to cut it off.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
then bypasses the play switch, allowing current to go around it and thus re-energize the main cam relay to restart the program.
bit.ly/MVM audience participation. Be a part of the show.
Now here's a bit of nuance which is very neat and I want to highlight it. The trip switch works as a bypass for the play switch, right? Which, again, the play switch stops everything so the record can play. Switch isn't letting power through to the main cam relay, but the trip switch provides a workaround. But that means that the programming of all these cams needs to be done such that the play switch gets released before the tone arm is pulled back to its resting position. electromechanics are so fascinating to me. It's a delicate ballet of logical circuit design and physical interactions. To make this action stop? Well, just make it hit a switch that kills it. You need to start it up again? Well, just add another switch that undoes the first one. And make sure you get the timing right, or it won't work at all.
I'm gonna go to Easter Island. Yeah, that's right. Rapa Nui. Easter Island, and you are coming with me. The reasons we're going, hello. The reasons we're going are a little bit odd. It involves, the reasons involve a 16mm school movie from the 1970s. Two women about to turn 40 with no babies. And the reasons include some gigantic stone heads. We're packing now. Here's the way people are coming with us. They're making noise and sound and music. Performance, writing, video, little tiny sculptures. I call them seeds, and people make these seeds, and I'm bringing them to the island, so you're all coming with me. And Eric Hausman, to whom you are currently listening, and I, Miss Tiffany Lee Brown, are making a soundtrack to this experience, the Easter Island Project. It's 6,480 hours long. Yes, that's right, 6,480 hours. madness that is the Easter Island soundtrack. You're cordially invited to Performance Works Northwest, June 6th and 7th. That's coming right up. Jim would be happy, and so would my friend Ricardo Wayne, who works here at KPSU, to give you some free tickets. You thought this was music, it's an ad. You can also contribute via the internets. We like that too. But we'd like to see you in person. You know, we got people to come in New York and Seattle and Oakland and Arizona. And in the middle of the woods in the Cascades of Oregon, USA. So we'd like to see some of our Portland peeps too. And now I'm gonna shut up. Let's try. There was some kind of scat. It was a very hot day for this time of year, May. And the scat was covered with flies.
I live close to UPS in the North End.
That's where I found the egg. The egg was about the size of a chicken egg, but it was much more tapered, and it looked different. It was speckly. It was speckly and kind of amber looking and tapered, the egg. There shouldn't really be a big old bird's. There shouldn't really be a big old bird's egg sitting in a field at the bottom of a hill without any trees around, just some power lines. There was no nest. I picked it up. Felt immediately the weight of it, its quiet, motionless shell.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
Ah, yes. A little bit of the Easter Island Project with Tiffany Lee Brown and Eric Hausman as the primary performers for that particular recording. And audience participation is happening at this moment. So bit.ly/MVM audience participation, all one word. Type that link in, and you can join the conversation. Yeah, let me give you a quick rundown of what you've been listening to the last hour. Of course, this is one of these jukebox shows where I kind of take a whole bunch of stuff that I have like in this slush pile of things I want to play on the show, but I just can never find a place to play them, and I kind of shuffle them together and kind of throw them up randomly, and then on the night of the show, I have this big pile of songs and a bunch of other stuff that I've kind of pre-produced and some stuff that I haven't, and then I kind of freestyle it, and I ask people to call in, and I play samples over it, and I'm really glad I found this guy talking about how jukeboxes work, because that's not only interesting, but just wonderful to listen to as well. we got a Hoppin' Digital Salon as well, so let's give a quick shout out to everybody who's hanging out. Mr. X and Pixie and Doss. Of course, Laura Panic, Molly Daft. I'm sure there's many others. Huntarian, etc., etc. So here's a kind of where we're at. I got another hour to go, and in the last hour we heard not just the Easter Island Project, but a little bit of Four Dimensional Nightmare. Leonard Nimoy reading There Will Come Soft Rains, a story that is set on August 4th, 2026, going into the morning of the August 5th. My show's not that long, but yeah, that's what that story is. Seemed appropriate to play it today. And then, of course, we heard a little bit of Joy Wants Eternity again. We had all sorts of fun stuff in that first hour as well. This is a bit of a live archive. All these bands were bands that came into the radio station. I engineered them as the flunky behind the mixing board, set up all the mics and stuff like that. And then, the weird part about live broadcasts like this is that so often they become this thing where they're like ephemeral. They come and go, and then it's on to the next thing. And like maybe the band might do something with the recording later, and maybe you'll re-listen to it as the engineer who might want to like go, oh yeah, that part was kind of interesting. But it feels wrong that these things languish. And some of these recordings and performances are really cool and really good. And I fortunately, I hope I got out of the way enough to make those recordings sound good to the listeners as well. And so that is kind of one of those things where it's like, wait, maybe these recordings need a second chance. So I've done this before. I had a big pile of these that I've accumulated of stuff I thought would make good stuff for the show. And then now I'm working through it. Was there more to that comment that needed to be said? Probably not. Yeah. Well, let's just play this again because it was very kind of Molly Daft to send us.
Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling on the telephone and ring me up tonight. Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling on the telephone, you got my number right.
Aw, so sweet. Ring-a-ling. bit.ly/MVM audience participation. We got a little bit more stuff I want to play for you. I mentioned this a little bit in the Digital Salon, but that Easter Island project contains two people I'm a big fan of. Eric Hausman, I think you should check out his discography. He's got a ton of records, constantly playing and touring and recording and playing on other people's records. He will play a live show if he can make it. The gentleman is very, very, very dedicated to the cause, and I'm a big fan. So he's even played a show for one of my birthday shows because I asked him kindly, and he said, "Yeah, I'll come by and play a set," and it was great. And that guy is a very, very considerate gentleman. So always a pleasure to work with Eric Hausman. And the Easter Island project was kind of a fun experience because Tiffany has this wild concept for it. Eric is an amazing performer. They improvise well together. What more do you need? Oh, hey, how's it going, Univac? Always nice to see you. Hopefully you heard the There Will Be Soft Rains earlier, because it feels like something you, of all people, would quite appreciate. Well, I got a little bit more stuff I want to get to, and hopefully I don't have to cut too many more items, although it seems to be every time I do one of these shows I over-plan by quite a bit, so that's just my style, I think. Well, why don't we get into it and see how much more damage we can do. Yeah, it's Mid-Valley Mutations here on Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU. And we're having a little bit of a jukebox jam.
Ring, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling on the telephone and send a kiss or two. If you don't ring-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, then I ring a ting-a-ling for you.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
Basically, there are a ton of if-then statements in here, but manifested as wires and switches. It's a form of logic, but very rudimentary. When you combine that with crazy mechanisms like the word-o-matic, you find yourself with a machine that can do surprisingly complex things, all through what's-its and doodads. That their computer business, and you'll also also find some important safety interlocks too. For example, notice how when the record grabby thing grabs the record from the carousel, it ends up between the two records surrounding the one it's grabbing. Well, what if the record carousel were to move with it in that position? A bunch of records would be broken by the little hook. To keep that from happening, the motor which turns the carousel is wired through this micro switch. Micro switch, which is only depressed when the pneumatic mechanism has opened the jaw of, the takeout valve, that's what it's called. This prevents what we in the business call a bad day. And of course, you'll find some other switches here that do other groovy things, like the side 2 release switch. Actually releases the side 2 relay. There's another one, of course, for the side 1 relay, and these function just like the red buttons in our little demo. Both the side 1 and 2 relays are self-latching to get the main cam relay and thus the entire mechanism going, and these two switches are responsible for releasing them. You'll notice that it's the same pins which are used to turn the takeout arm that actually actuate these two switches. But of course, we haven't answered perhaps the most important question about this machine. What gets this all started? how does it know to start turning the carousel? And how does the carousel know what record to stop at? Or what side to play? Well, I'm going to save that for the next video. I know. I'm sorry, but this is already what, 19 minutes long or thereabouts. But before I go, let's look at one more thing. You didn't think you could just remove the record carousel, but you can. It's actually just sitting in here. Just select a record to be played and shut it off. Now the carousel can simply be lifted up and out. Look at what's underneath. It's connected to this black arm which can be spun around. This is clearly going to some sort of mechanism below it. That mechanism is the readout arm, and it, along with the selection accumulator, are perhaps the most amazing parts of this entire machine. Selection accumulator is what made the sound you heard before everything got started. This one. Notice when I select a record that the buttons stay depressed until that sound stops. Then they pop back out. It's actually the reason there's a reset button in the middle, so that way if you press the wrong button, you can pop it out. Now, listen closely as I select a series of records. A1, C1, E1, G1, and J1. Did you notice something changing with each selection?
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
Okay. Whew. Kind of forgot how much of a voyage that Pete Von Petrin piece was. I like that. It's Mid-Valley Mutations here on Sheena's Jungle Room. Or should I do it this way? Get my Lux Interior on. Or we could just get down to brass tacks. We're about in the back 40, as my grandmother would say back in the day. So we're kind of down to the last few here, and the lines are open. bit.ly/MVM audience participation, all one word. And you can find information about that stuff if you want to go to the WFMU.org/Sheena page. You'll see the little button that says live listener comments and playlist, something along those lines. That's where we're hanging out. That's where you can join us That's where all the fun is happening, as they say. And give it a shot. I think you'll like the way it makes you feel. Yeah, so that little section there was Pete Von Petrin, and then we're listening to little Doug Therio right now behind us. Doug, long time experimental performer, going way, way, way back. That guy's been at it for a long time. Really is kind of honed in on a sound and a style that is very unique. They've performed on a number of records, and they do a lot of solo stuff as well. I'm a big fan of Doug. I love their stuff. I feel very privileged to have been able to record him a few times. Doug, probably one of my favorite Portland experimental combos, Office Products. That's one of Doug's groups. And man, got to say, the Office Products, I got to open for them a couple of times. I was on the radio with them a couple of times, once. Man, dream come true. Doug's a real cool cat, and man, I wish I lived closer, because I could probably hook up with that gentleman a little more often. But the world is a complicated and difficult place, so it goes. We had a wonderful contribution earlier from Molly Daft out of the Digital Salon. Sent us a nice little sample. Now, we do have the audience participation available for you to use if you want to do just direct interface with the open microphone and whatnot. There is a way that you can play samples through that medium. I know Bandit figured it out. I think the way to do it is and I think the call is set up that way now, where you can take over as one of a presenter, and then whatever on your local computer that you want to present to us can then be played through the sound. And then I think the most convenient way, if you have sound files on your computer, to get them in through the there's other ways to do it. Fool around. We're more than happy to provide you a place where you can fool around with this stuff, and it becomes radio for us to enjoy. Well, let's see. What else have I got here? Well, yeah, I got a few more things that I would like to try to squeeze in before it becomes too late. So why don't I get to that, and then maybe we can get back to a little more of that Easter Island project to kind of wrap things up. It's a Mid-Valley Mutations here on Sheena's Jungle Room, WFMU. Yeah, we're just kind of going through the old jukebox, playing some stuff, a big pile of tunes that I've been itching to hear. And they sound like this.
Mid-Valley
Jukebox jams.
Mutations.
Audio utterances, delicately jockeyed, for discerning ears.
What's going on? What's going on? Well, stay tuned because in the next video, we'll find out. What's going on? Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that my explanations were easy enough to follow. Electromechanics are really quite simple, but they can be a little confusing. When you use switches and relays to make sequences and interlocks, it can seem to get out of hand. In fact, these here are the schematics for this machine. They're super easy to read. You might have thought this was a pretty simple device with what you've seen up till now, but trust me, when we explain where these buttons go, it's gonna get a lot more complicated. I think I'll play some music now. How about T1? liked that delivery so much and then it fell apart. This staggering number of switches That's the end of the sentence. Oops. I say, of course, weirdly, it's a little late now because I'm already moving it back, but I think I did. However, this clever mechanical program wouldn't make for a useful jukebox. It's later than you think it is. I'm kind of tired of it. When I press it momentarily. Those are fun words. They aren't words, they're just sounds. So what happens when the record is over? Oh, it's not phrased as a question that I know the answer to. I need to say something that's not in the script. That'll do it, right? Last week, we explored the record-changing mechanism in this charmingly ugly, stylistically repressed, clunky, buzzy, disc jockeying gizmo box of horrors. We looked at the mechanical bits that grab the record, manipulate the tone arm and turntable, and all that jazz. We also created a circuit with a relay to start and stop an action with 2 separate inputs. Known as buttons. Yeah, I'm going to try to explain that a little better in this video, but anyway, if you haven't seen the video that I'm talking about right now, you should probably consider watching that first. In fact, here's a card. I'm just kidding. There you go. For all those situations where cards don't work, there's a link in the description. Of course this is upside down, but we're gonna roll with it. I left you with a devastating cliffhanger. See, we covered how this machine was able to take a record from the record carousel and play it, but we never covered how exactly it knows what record to play. Well, that's what we're going to cover in this here video. Shocking, I know. Let's consider what needs to be accomplished. We don't have the luxury of a computer. We only have a few relays and whatever sort of weird mechanical contraptions we might devise. How could you design a sort of memory to store a selection to be played, given those limitations? Why, with a ridiculously complicated electromechanical solution, of course! And this is it! Exciting, huh? This is the selection accumulator. This device functions as the memory of the jukebox. Calling it memory is a bit of a stretch, as you'll soon see, but it does store selections to be played, just in physical space, using physical objects. You'll notice that all around the edge of this are a bunch of little metal pins. They each have a spring attached to them, well, most of them anyway, and they're labeled just like the selections in Jukebox. Each of these pins is a selection. There are 200 in total, starting at A1 and ending with B0. By the way, if you notice that the letters I and O were missing, that was done just to prevent confusion between those two letters and 1 and 0. Take a closer look at the springs and you'll see that they're all under tension. Right now, these pins are just barely staying held down. Really on the edge of their seats. If you push one ever so slightly towards the center of the, let's call it a basket, it will suddenly pop up. That sounds like a click. Anyway, thanks to the spring, we'll stay in the top position until something can get back down.
Well, I think it's time for us to hit the dusty trail, as I used to say. Thanks again to Molly Daft for sending in that ring-a-ding sample. And, yeah. We covered a lot of ground tonight. I think I had a good time. I think. Oh. Happy August 4th, everybody. There will be soft rains. Being in a place where it is currently hot and smoky, and it feels like the end of the world. That story hit a little too close to home this evening, but so much is hitting too close to home these days, so what can we do? What can we do? Stay tuned for Radio Trouble, which is up next. Please, you'll thank yourself if you do. My Monday night show had to move to the afternoon, or if you're on the West Coast, in the morning. So if you want to listen to more old-time radio, and that's your jam, then you can tune in at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. That is when the Dime Store Radio Theater show is playing. And I am urging people who cannot catch it live then to just listen to it at 6 p.m. where it used to be. Stream it then. It'll be in the archives already, so why not? Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. That was a good time. I need more good times with people like you. Please. It would be delightful. Wonderful, even. I'm glad I played that Hora Flora and Pete Von Petron performances tonight together, because they came in on the same day to perform. I recorded them both on the same day. I always think of those performances together. Yeah, anyway. And, of course, we heard a few other things. Frontal lobe development, more Easter Island Project. Yeah. You guys are wonderful. You guys are beautiful. Without you, there would be no show. Be seeing you. Or should I say, be seeing you.
Mid-Valley Mutations was produced for Sheena's Jungle Room on WFMU. Created by Austin Rouge and Mitch Headroom. Theme songs by Shadows in Blue. Visit shadowsinblue.bandcamp.com for more information. Emotional support, Marla, Leander, Oryx and Craig. Local denizens of the Mid-Valley, where the magic happens. Engineering and technical support by the Lava Lamp Lounge, where the elite meet to make radio treats that can't be beat. More information, austinrich.org. Getting older is no problem, you just have to live long enough.
Mid-Valley
Be seeing you.
Mutations.
Oh, well.